What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love Match Atlanta, Season 1, Episode 3, Sage the Day. So we're going to start off with Kelly and Tana, the dynamic dating duo. And they meet with a new client. Her name is Amy. She is a very attractive African American female, probably like around her mid to late 40s. She's in the corporate world and she's very focused on her job and her career. And all she wants to talk about morning, noon, and night is her job. She's a complete workaholic. And so they tell her that when you go out on your dates that we're going to match you with, please do not talk about your job because that is a major, major turnoff. It's to talk about work the whole entire time. Now, of course, you're going to tell them what you do for a living, and let's just leave it at that. Don't go into the details of your job, the do's and the don'ts, the policies and the procedures. Let's just leave it at this is what I do and let's move on. So we'll see if she heeds to their advice. So moving on to Joseph. Joseph is doing a follow-up meeting with his client, Jessica. Now, Jessica is the young lady that appeared on the Kevin Samuels show and got completely annihilated by Kevin Samuels and his minions. And it was so bad, it was so traumatic that she had to, I think she left social media. She wasn't going to date black men anymore. She was just very traumatized by the whole experience. But going through Joseph's services, because he does focus on African American dating, I guess she was open to dating black men again. And she went on out on a date with someone. I forgot his name, but I remember he was a paleo pescatarian. I love saying that, paleo pescatarian. And I think the date went well. Now, if they were going to go on another date, I wasn't sure. I wasn't paying attention, but that date did go well. So I guess she's, back to the land of the living and she's back to dating black men and things are looking up for Jessica. Moving on to Shay. So Shay's out at the gym with her trainer and she meets up with Lamont. Now Lamont is also a matchmaker who focuses on the LGBT community. So they talk about Joseph. Everybody, when they get together, all they want to do is talk about Joseph. He is like the center of everybody's life on this show. Shay's issue with Joseph is that he's very arrogant, he's very pompous. Lamont agrees as well. And I guess she plans on telling Joseph about himself at some point. And also, what another big deal to them is that he's not a certified matchmaker. And they're constantly using that as a weapon against him. Now, I don't know why it's a big deal to be a certified matchmaker, because if it was absolutely mandatory to be certified, then Joseph wouldn't have a job, but he seems to be thriving in his career as a matchmaker. So I'm not understanding why it's such a big deal for them to be certified. Now, maybe they feel like being certified kind of gives them a certain credibility with their clients. So, okay, then great. You get the cream of the cream de la cream of clients and he gets whatever's left over. So what's the problem? You're getting the best. He's getting the mediocre. So what's the problem? He's not doing as well as y'all, right? Unless the issue is he's not certified and doing just as good or better than y'all. And that's what the problem is, because I don't understand why they think it's a big deal. Moving on to Ming. So Ming is meeting with her new client. Now, Ming is the one where her dating company focuses on international and interracial dating. Scott is a 33-year-old white male, and he has multiple streams of income. So I guess he does very well for himself. And before she had her first meeting with him, I guess her office where she meets with her clients is right next to, and there's nothing but like a glass wall separating her dating office with her bridal business, because she also has a bridal gown business. And so before she met with Scott, she had her assistants remove all the wedding gowns so they won't be seen through the glass wall, because she says that if they see the wedding gowns, the male clients will be turned off by that. So she gets rid of all the wedding gowns. Mr. Scott comes in and she offers him three different packages. He could either choose package one, which is $50,000, and he gets to have 8 introductions. Package two is $75,000, and he gets 10 introductions. And package three is $100,000, and he gets 15 introductions. And I'm thinking to myself, $100,000 for something that is not guaranteed, nowhere near being guaranteed. And you can probably do just as bad on your own or just as good on your own for free. You can go meet someone at the library, at the park, at the grocery store. You can go meet someone at a party. You can have a friend set you up. You can do all these other things absolutely for free 99 to meet someone, but you want to put down 100 stacks, 100,000 stacks for a possibility, a scintilla of a chance of getting what you want, maybe. Because we all know that relationships come with a lot of problems. So you're basically spending $100,000 for a lot of problems. I mean, it might work out at the end. You might get married and whatever, but you're going to go through a lot of ups and downs in a relationship. Anyways, let me get off my soapbox. So he's hoping that Ming can find him someone. Oh, by the way, he chose the cheapest package, which is $50,000 for 8 introductions. Moving on to Kelly and Tana. So Shay is going to go to them because Shay is single. She recently broke up with the father of her youngest child, her 2-year-old daughter. And I guess after she's gone through the healing process and she's back on her feet, she's ready to get into the dating pool again. So she must really believe in the whole matchmaking process, with her being a matchmaker. She must really believe in it because she's going to go to the echelon of matchmakers, Kelly and Tana, and hope that they will, go ahead and choose her as a client. Now, Kelly and Tana tell us that they've had really bad experiences when they try to match their personal friends. So they normally shy away from that. So we don't know exactly what they're going to decide with Shay. And once again, when all 3 women get together, they talk about Joseph and how he stole their idea 100 million years ago. So we also find out that Ming is going through a divorce from her husband. Her husband is Caucasian. And so she is going through a divorce with him. And I guess, this is obviously a very tough time for her. She's struggling through it. So, good luck to Ming. Moving on to Shay and Joseph. Shay wanted to meet with Joseph for a couple of reasons. Number 1, she wants to tell Joseph about himself. Number 2, she wants to talk about the event that he kicked her out of. So as soon as he sat down, she started off with, why would you kick me out of your event? And he says, well, I didn't kick you out of the event. I kicked everybody out of my event. So she begins to criticize Joseph for starting a certification program, and he himself is not certified. I don't know why that's an issue. Of course, Joseph gets upset because he says, I'm so sick and tired of the rest of y'all constantly throwing this whole certification thing in my face. I don't need to be certified. I don't want to be certified. So just stop with the whole certification thing. I'm kind of siding with Joseph. Like, why do y'all care? If he's doing something wrong, if he's breaking the law in some way by practicing matchmaking without a matchmaking certification, and not a license, just a certification, then let that be his problem. Otherwise, don't worry about him. Focus on your own business and your own stuff. Like, I'm so sick and tired of every single episode we're talking about how Joseph isn't certified. Because evidently it doesn't matter because he's still running his matchmaking business. So why are we constantly talking about it? Unless y'all are just, kind of jealous or envious of him that he's not certified, but he's doing just as good as y'all or possibly even better. I don't know. So they start arguing. The conversation goes completely left. Shay takes out her sage and she starts, waving her sage around. They're constantly going back and forth, back and forth. He gets so upset that he walks up and he leaves. And I thought, okay, that's the end of the scene there. But I guess he went to the parking lot just to cool off because he came back. And then when he came back in, it was really funny because he was like, hey, Shay, what's up? I mean, these people were just screaming at each other 5 minutes before. And then he walks in like they're 2 completely different people now. And he's like, hey, Shay, what's up? And he's like, hey, how you doing? Y'all were just screaming at each other and now everything is copacetic. So Jay says, what bothers me the most is that y'all don't take into consideration the hard work that I've put into into building my business. Y'all give me no credit for that. That someone who isn't certified, was able to build a matchmaking business at the level that I'm at now. And, she took that in and she accepted that. And, he's just like, I'm just tired of y'all constantly throwing up the certification thing in my face. And I hope this is the last that we hear about. We get it. He's not certified. And we understand because she also said to him, that he was really arrogant, very pompous, very self-centered, very conceited. And she was like, you walk into a room and you think that you're on our level, but you're not because you're not certified. We look at you as an outsider. You're not part of our exclusive matchmaking clique where we're all certified. And I'm like, oh my God. God. Okay, it's not like y'all are licensed attorneys. This isn't, you're hooking people up. Okay, some people might say y'all are like glorified pimps in a way. Y'all are just hooking people up. So stop with the whole certification thing. Anybody can hook up people for dates. Moving on from that. Okay, so Amy, the workaholic corporate lady, she finally has her date with a gentleman named David. I realized that when they first met, he didn't even compliment her. And I was like, okay, already that's a big no-no. He didn't compliment her. And then the first thing she wants to talk about is work. So she starts telling him about what she does in great detail, and she's in the corporate world, so whatever it is, it's not that interesting to talk about on a first date. You know what I'm saying? Unless he was asking a lot of questions, which he wasn't. And he tried to veer the conversation away from the whole work subject, but she veered it right back to talking about work. So the date was a flop. I don't think he wanted to see her again. She wasn't that interesting because all she talked about was work. So when she did the follow up meeting with the dating duo, they were like, "Girl, you talked about working." Okay, moving on from that. So Shay is meeting with the duo to find out if they're going to take her on as a client, and she really what's the word? Because I'm trying not to use any kind of vulgarity. She really laid it on thick as far as why she chose them. She was like, "Y'all are my big sisters in the matchmaking industry. Y'all are the best of the best of the best. And if I know that if I'm ever gonna have any luck in finding someone, it's gonna be because of y'all working with me." And I mean, she just really laid it on thick about like these were just the gods of matchmaking. And so she says that it's time for her to find someone. She has a young child and she is looking for a father figure for her child, which I was like, okay, so the father of your daughter is not in her life? I thought that they had joint custody or something, but maybe not. And so they told her that, yes, they will definitely take her on as a client, and also they're gonna make her sign an NDA. She has to sign an NDA, and she was like, "Oh, I'll sign it right now. I'll sign it right now." She is so eager, beaver, to work with these two women as far as matchmaking. And I think the NDA, I think that I'm not sure, but I think they said they wanted her to sign it because they don't want her to take any of their matchmaking trade secrets and use it as her own, because she's gonna get the inside tea of how they work by being their client. So yeah, let's hope this is all in the up and up, that she really is trying to find a partner and not because she's trying to find out their secrets. Anyway, that is my review for Love Match Atlanta. Thank you so much for joining me. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe. If you don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping by anyway, and I will talk to you later. Bye.